Charlamagne, the irony is, right now, there's a lot of people who just see your face this second or saw that we promoted you, and they're going, I'm mad at him. I don't want to hear from him. Right?
Why?
Because of a soundbite they may have heard on some date that was taken out of context. And the irony is, that's what this book is about.
Absolutely.
No one's actually taking the time to think and listen and learn.
That's right. Me and you've had these conversations, a lot of times, because you can come on one of these platforms, and if you dare to be objective, if you dare to be nuanced, if you dare to be critical, of both parties, if the right wing, the right media will take what they want to push their narrative, and the left is just not good at that. So the left ends up responding to the right's narrative, and then the left ends up, eating either their own or attacking people who aren't necessarily against them. I'm just having a nuanced conversation about, both parties.
But isn't small talk kind of how we're lying to ourselves, how we convince ourselves we're communicating, we're connected on social media, I like this, I like that, but we're not actually getting real.
That's why the title of the book is Get Honest or Die Lying, because I'm daring people to not just be honest with themselves, but to, stop lying to themselves and stop volunteering those lies to other people. Stop lying like you're open-minded. Stop lying like, you have nuanced conversations. Stop lying like you're objective. Stop lying like you can, put yourself in other people's shoes, because you have your opinion, you have your feelings, you have your narrative, and you're sticking to that, and you refuse to be moved by anybody.
The book is a lot about heart. But the heart that you write about isn't soft or warm. It's raw, it's real, and it sometimes can be perceived as rude.
It's funny, my mom always tells me that, she used to tell me, that me and my dad don't know how to talk to people. So, that's just been something I've been, trying to,
A massive communicator who can't talk to people.
Well, because my dad told me that the fastest way between two points is a straight line. And see, that's what I mean when I talk about, being real, because it's easy to be real with other people, right? Like, you can look at somebody else and tell them what they're doing wrong, or what they're wearing is whack, or how they look is whack. But can you look in the mirror and do that to yourself? That is very hard for some people to do. To have those hard, uncomfortable conversations with themselves, that's very hard to do. And that's something that I use myself as a muse for that every single day.
In the book, you look at how politicians and lawmakers communicate in this inauthentic way, and you don't like it, right?
No.
But you hold Donald Trump to a different standard. You said, except Donald Trump. This guy knows how to get right to the heart of things and speak to people. But here's my issue with that. He might keep it real in his delivery, but it's all a hustle. Because the majority of words that he's saying are bald-faced lies.
Oh, absolutely. The chapter is called The Language of Politics is Dead. And what you said is absolutely true. But what I always say is that Republicans are more sincere about their lies than Democrats are about their truth. So a Republican, like guys like Donald Trump or, folks like Marjorie Taylor Greene, they'll sit right there, look you in the eye, and tell you a bold-faced lie, but it sounds honest. But meanwhile, some Democrats could be standing on truth, and they sound very shaky in their delivery. They don't sound confident about what it is that they're telling you. The Republicans, the conservatives, they sound very confident about the message, that they're delivering.
So why give them the platform? What does one need to do to address that? What's your advice?
What do you mean?
Right, so when Donald Trump is sitting there lying and lying, and so is Marjorie Taylor Greene, and we're lifting them by giving them this attention, are we making a mistake?
Oh, no, I don't think we're lifting them. You can't ignore them. One guy was the former president of the United States of America, and, the other one is a congresswoman. So you can't ignore them. What I would tell folks, and what I have told a lot of people on the left, man, go on those conservative platforms. Go on those conservative platforms and actually have conversations with them. Like, it's easy for them to take you out of context when you're talking, on another network. They can take you out of context and, do what they want with your language or your rhetoric. But if you're actually there and their audience is watching you, it's very hard to be taken out of context. President Barack Obama used to go on Fox News, right? Like, you've got people like Gavin Newsom who go on, Fox News. And that's why you see, people looking at them in different ways. Like, Gavin Newsom's profile rose considerably. People even started talking about him.
Where Pete Buttigieg does some of his best work.
That's what I'm saying. So why run from it? If you're afraid that they're going to take you out of context, why not go there and have the conversation? Why are we running from a whole other side of America?
You don't support people getting canceled, but where do you draw the line?
It depends. Like, I'm not God, so who am I to cancel somebody?
I'm sorry, your name is
Charlamagne the God, right? But I'm not the God, right? And then it's like, I'm not Canceling is subjective, because if you are, the owner of a network, or if you're a fan of somebody and you don't like something that they did, you can cancel them. You can unsubscribe from them. You can stop listening to their program. You can stop watching their TV show, stop buying their music. You can do that. But I mean, just as far as this whole social media era of where we are, putting everybody through the court of public opinion, and, we are the judge, jury, and executioner, like, who are we?
And everybody needs to fit in an exact category.
Why? Who are we? And I want to go back to something I said about, Trump and the language of politics is dead. He's made it to where politicians can be honest if they choose to be. He's not here's the thing. He's not a politician. He was
hold on a minute. Why do we keep saying he is a politician?
Well, but
he is a politician.
He's the executive. He was the executive producer of Celebrity
Apprentice. And a failed businessman.
He was just a reality show star. So if somebody like that gets into politics, of course they're going to communicate better than the politicians, because the politicians are sitting there with their notes. And you've interviewed a bunch of them. You ask them a question, they're going to stick to the script. But ask them that same question again after they got rid of their talking points. Now they got to be honest. Now they got to be real. He's not really moving with no talking points. So you saw when Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett last week called Marjorie Taylor Greene the blonde, bad-built, butch body.
Yes.
Yo, that was a beautiful moment, because finally somebody was like, yo, I'm not normalizing none of this BS that is coming from y'all. Now I'm going to check y'all on the BS that y'all keep spewing, because if you leave it unchecked, then it starts to get normalized in our society.
I want to ask you something a little personal. You grew up in rural South Carolina,
Moncks Corner,
right? Where you had a long attention span, because you grew up at a time where you were spending a lot of time outdoors, where your internal clock was the sunrise and the sun setting.
That's right.
Fast forward 30 years, and you are in the middle of New York City. You have, in some instances, debilitating anxiety. Mm-hmm. And your advice for people is to unplug, is to get out there in nature, to literally ground yourself in the dirt and hug a tree.
Yeah, I was blessed to be born in 1978. So, I was born before a lot of this technology, and we came up in the era of technology. So I have both, both points of reference to know how, when you're disconnected from something, how good it can be. And, now at 45, about to be 46 years of age, I'm still that, kid growing up on a dirt road in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. I like to walk around barefoot, in my yard, and I like to do grounding, like in Japan, they call it forest bathing. I like to, put my back up against the tree and just sit out there and, just meditate. I go up there, go up the trees and put my hands on them. That's in the book too. I have a chapter called, Tree Hug the Block, just talking about how a lot of, being connected with nature helps to, reduce your anxiety, reduce your stress. If you're dealing with bouts of depression, man, sometimes just go outside, go in the ocean, say a prayer, look right up to the sun. We don't look up enough, Stephanie. That's the other thing too. I was just telling my cousin Tony that earlier. We was outside running, training, and I'm like, yo, just look up. Look at the trees. Look at the clouds.
That's about gratitude.
You think about the world we're in. We're always looking down at our phones. And then I think about, like Tupac, when he said, keep your head up. I think about songs like Be Optimistic from Sounds of Blackness, where, as long as you keep your head to the sky, things will be okay. It's just it's got to be something to where they're keeping us constantly looking down. Why aren't we intentionally looking up enough? If there's all of these devices that are making us look down, we have to be intentional about looking up.